Coach Pruitt will begin with the opening statement, and please raise your hands. I'll call on you for questions.
You know, first of all, you got to give West Virginia credit. You know, those guys got better as the game went, which is what a good football team's supposed to do. You know, we didn't. I thought our guys fought hard in the first half. Kind of shot ourselves in the foot a little bit with some penalties, some lack of execution. You know, against a good team like that and a good quarterback, you can't give them a whole lot of time. I don't know how much pressure we got on them. They done a really good job protecting the quarterback. He got away from us, extended some plays, and then in the second half, the guy made some throws, made some catches. You know, and we got to find a way to get them out. So what went from being a very close football game, basically with a little bit lack of execution and execution on their part, you know, gets out of hand just like that. And that's what happens when you got a team that's very well coached, that's got a good trigger man, knows how to protect, and he knows what he's doing with the football. You know, does a great job. You can disguise and try to muddy the looks all you want. The guy's got a lot of experience, and he's got some really good receivers on the outside that made some plays. But offensively for us in the first half, really shot ourselves in the foot. Those guys done a really good job mixing up the looks, stemming around. Way too many negative plays, and got behind and down in distance. You know, I thought our guys did, you know, punch it in, put a good drive together there, 17 plays at one point, got us back in the football game, and done some good things as the game went. There was a lot of positives, but the most important thing is who wins and loses the game, okay? You know, and we didn't win today. West Virginia did, and they deserved to win. So, but I'm going to look at our football team, and I'm going to take the things that we did well, and there's lots of things that we did well. Probably one of the biggest problems that we had is we were inconsistent, and we've got to be able to do that. If you're going to be a good football team, you can't make mental mistakes. You got to play with good technique. You got to do a good job communicating. So we've got some things that we can go back and build on. You know, if we'd have won this game, we'd have been 1-0. Okay, what does that mean? It means we're 1-0. We lost it. We're 0-1. All right. I'm not real happy about that, but hey, somebody's going to lose, and unfortunately today it's us. So we can either waller in it, or we can sit here and figure out a way to make us better, and I think that's what our guys will try to do.
Right here.
Coach, first I saw Will Greer. Your impressions of him, and did he live up to all the hype you've heard?
You know, I'll tell you something about him that it really impressed me, is he didn't. Our offense kept the ball in the first half, okay? So I think we had like 20 minutes to their 8 minutes in the first half, you know, and I thought he done a really good job not being impatient. He let the game come to him, which shows maturity, shows that he's very well coached. And when he got the looks that he was looking for, he took advantage of it, and he executed, and those guys done a nice job. They made a couple of really nice catches, great throws, nice catches into the right coverage, you know. Rob, to answer your question, he's really good.
Coach, you played a bunch of freshmen in the secondary. When they, you know, in their first college game, when they get a look at a player like that, just how much can they benefit coming out of it once you can show the thing?
Well, we played some young guys, and those guys deserve to play. They've performed the best in fall camp, you know, and they've done some good things today. But there's lots of lessons that they got taught today too, and that's part of football. That's part of growing up. I knew this would happen, but I also know in October they're going to be a lot better. So, you know, they got to learn from it. They got to grow up, and I think they will, because they're made the right way. So I got to do a better job of coaching them too. You know, put them in a couple of bad spots, and that's my fault. And I'll help them out a little bit more the next time, hopefully.
Patrick and David Cobb.
Jeremy, in the first half, I think one of the positives probably was that long touchdown drive. You didn't look like you hesitated on the fourth and goal at the one to go for it. Kind of what you're thinking there? What was your, are you trying to send a message there to your team?
Well, It's like we've talked about. We're not here to run a sprint. We're here to run a marathon, and we're trying to build a culture, and we want to be an aggressive team that plays to win. And the ball's 4th and goal on the 1, down 10-0. It started on the 1, and after 3 plays, we were still on the 1. So it might have been on the 2. So if you can't get it in from there, it don't say a whole lot for you. So we got to build our confidence and be more physical. And heck, you ought to be able to get 1 yard in 4 plays.
David, then Blake.
Jeremy, what's your instant evaluation of Tim Jordan's performance?
Well, I thought our runners ran hard. There was a lot of penetration with their D-line. They gave some different looks and stemmed around and done a nice job, which is what they do. They do a really good job at it. So the whole deal going into the game, we talked about staying out of negative plays. For the most part, our guys did at running back. When they were given a chance, they did. So Tim's got good hands. He's a good competitor. He's a good special teams player. So it didn't surprise me the way he played.
Blake, and then David Ubben, and then Wes.
Jeremy, why did Jarrett earn the opportunity to get today's game, and what did you think about the way he played?
Well, I think that both guys, talking about Keller, they both deserve to play. They've worked really hard in camp. It's been a really close battle between those 2 guys, and Will McBride. Will's done a really good job too. But Jared is probably a little more athletic. In the last week, he's had maybe just a little bit better probably practices. Not take nothing away from Keller, but I told both of them, we're going to need both of them to play. And I told Jared, I don't care if you throw your 24 for 24 in this game the next week, Keller Christ is going to play. We need to play him to give him an opportunity to create some, just a backup quarterback, or so that's what we'll let him play some this next week. You kind of go into a game like this, you don't want to say, well, I'm going to play you the 3rd drive. Well, what if the 3rd drive you got the ball on the -1? So we felt like it was important to give who we decided to be the quarterback a chance to be the quarterback, not to look over their shoulder. If they start slow, they got a chance to rebound. And I think Jarrett did. I think he did. I thought he kept his poise, which is important for a quarterback. One thing about a quarterback, it takes a lot. It takes 10 other guys around you, to execute on a high level to give you a chance to have success. And there was at times today we didn't do that, and I did think he kept his poise and tried to play within himself.
David, then Wes.
Jerry, how did you assess what you got out of the offensive line tonight?
Sorry, Dave.
How did you assess what you got out of the offensive line tonight?
Well, there's some runs that we hit in there, and there's some runs that we lost 3 or 4 yards on. You're not going to be very good in this league or in any league when you run the football if you can't get back to the line of scrimmage. So I would say inconsistent would probably be the best thing. There was a few runs in there that we hit up in there. But I'll tell you about our O-line, okay? And I'm not making excuses. All right? I'm just going to tell you the facts. All right? Trey Smith has practiced for 8 days, okay? He's 19 years old, okay? Jameer Johnson was not here in the spring. He played left tackle most of the time. Then he played guard when Trey came back. Brandon Kennedy wasn't here in the spring. Chance Hall just started this fall camp. Because we didn't know who these guys, if they were going to be back, we had to prepare like they wasn't going to be back. All right, so that means we had to play guys at a bunch of different spots. All right, well, when you do that, sometimes you're not hardly a unit yet, okay? I like our guys on the offensive line. I believe in them. I think the guys are hard-nosed. I think they fight. But we've got to execute a little better, okay? And I think as this season goes and those guys get to play together and kind of play the same positions over and over, I think they'll do that. I really do.